Good morning, Big City Rotary. Good morning, guests. It's nice to have you all with us. Good morning, visiting Rotarians. I'm going to call on Tony for our pledge and four-way test.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Sort of a short and sweet invocation this morning due to my throat. Last night, I slept and dreamt that life was joy. I awoke and saw that life was service. I acted, and behold, service was joy. So, let's rise for the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Four-way test. The things we think, say, and do.
Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned?
All right. Mike.
Good morning. This morning we have 39 members here. We have lots of captains. We have 11 captains. Dennis, Brotline.
I want to introduce Larry Jones. Larry Smith. He's here with his daughter, who's going to receive a scholarship from GTCC. Thank you for coming, Larry. And the students are going to be introduced.
Yeah, brought my new best friend Charles Schaus. It's very appropriate that he's here today. He works with Finks Jewelers. So if anybody needs a last minute he's here. He'll be holding the fort outside shortly. And I met Charles through a 505. Next Wednesday we'll be carrying on our Winning Through Wine on Wednesdays program if you care to join us. Thanks for coming in, Charles.
I invited Charles 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Haven't finished making the payments yet.
Charles, it's nice to have you with us, and persistence pays off. We can see that, can't we? Rick Martin.
We've got blanks this weekend. We'll celebrate next week with several, but this week we're clean slate.
All righty. No birthdays, no anniversaries, no nothing. It's just the way the calendar fell, I guess.
I'm telling you.
All right. Well, let's get into announcements. I'm looking for Mike Conrad. Where is Mike?
He's here.
Oh, he's got his head down. Come on, Mike.
Now I think most of you know, based on Facebook, that we had an incredible event on Tuesday night over at Grand Over. Kelly Harrell and his group did an incredible job. The food was outstanding. I think everybody there enjoyed themselves. I know our Rotary International President, Barry Rassin. It was a little touch and go. He had 3 flights canceled out of Chicago. Didn't get here till about 5:30 for 6 o'clock cocktail hour. He made it. And we were able to announce that night that for our Rotary Foundation, we have raised $2,639,000 in about 12 months. So that's and I think what was so noteworthy that the Gate City Rotary Club had the biggest contingent of attendees at this event on Tuesday night. So I want to thank all of you. Everyone couldn't come that had made commitments from our club, but we had at least 10% of the folks there were from our club. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the good that we are doing in the world.
And Mike, wouldn't you say that a lot of that, you know, we live in such a blessed country, but so much of the money that is given to the foundation is used overseas in places we will never see, but it's a way that we can have an impact.
It'll be used essentially for to eradicate polio. It could be clean water and sanitation, basic education and literacy, economic development. Absolutely, but some of those dollars, if you can always earmark your dollars to come back to our district, that will be used for district grants like Children of Vietnam and the things that we do in this club. So some does come back, but it goes all over the world as well.
To places of tremendous need. Thank you so much, Hunter. 1 million?
The goal was $1 million, yes, and our Rotary president was blown away. In fact, he has put a post himself that is all over the world now in terms of what we've done in our district.
Fantastic. I did not see Kim Dane come in this morning, and I hate to put someone on the spot. Christy, could I ask you to pinch hit spontaneously about Meals of Hope? I'm thinking you might know a little something about Meals of Hope.
So this event is going to be held out at our warehouse at the church on 68. It is a meal packing event, so it is a packing of macaroni and cheese packets that Rotary graciously donates back to us. So there will be, at each packing session, there will probably be about 100 people. I know Cindy Hewitt kind of leads that charge, and it's pretty amazing to see kind of, I think it's around 100,000 meals packed, or approximately, in one day. So it's exciting and it's very impactful for us. So thank you.
How many meals will we pack?
And correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it's 80,000 to 100,000.
Yeah, just depends
somewhere
on
in
how
that
fast
range.
we get going.
Yeah,
But
and it's pretty miraculous to see people packing meals as fast as they can. So,
it is amazing. Dennis?
Chip, let me just, if I can,
absolutely.
I've gone to this particular event probably about 4 years in a row now. And I don't know how many people that we got signed up, but we really do need 100 people to get to go. I think last year there were not 100 people last year, and from the 1 to 3 time frame, and it affected how many we could do. It's a lot of fun. They play some really cool music. It's just 2 hours of your time. If you haven't signed up, you need to come out here and try this, because you will go back once you do it one time.
Yeah, this is an example of something that we talk about, how the foundation benefits so many needs overseas. This is something that we do right here in our backyard. It has immediate impact here in Guilford County. So great idea, thank you. We're almost to 20 people from the club, including family members, that have signed up. But I'd love to get us over 20. So please look at your calendar, March 2nd, and March 2nd.
March 2nd,
Sorry about
yeah.
that. Yes.
March 2nd.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, now for a completely different topic. This is about next week's meeting. We will not be here next week. We'll be, the details will come out once the wall, but that'll be at the Salvation Army. You'll get us some heads up early next week on that.
We're off-site at Salvation Army offices. Lisa's coordinating.
Or Lisa, okay.
Yes. Our meeting next week is at the Salvation Army Club, Boys and Girls Club over on, I guess it's Freedman Mill Road. And if you please come, it may take you 5 to 7 minutes, but I would love you to see that facility and what the Salvation Army is doing in our community through the Boys and Girls Club. Kelly and I sit on the board. I had the opportunity 2 Saturdays ago to judge the Boys and Girls, the Youth of the Year of Boys and Girls through the Boys and Girls Club. And I was just amazed. We had 5 candidates, and these kids were phenomenal, and they all come up through a Boys and Girls Club in North Carolina. And the winner goes on to compete at the regional, and then hopefully gets, the top award for Youth of the Year nationally. So come out. I think we have new leadership at the Salvation Army Boys and Girls Club, a young couple here, and they're doing great work. So come out next Thursday. And we will have something to eat. I'm not sure yet.
To be determined. Okay. I did not, did David Lillard slip in here unseen? I did not see him. Okay. Steve, do we have something for Buster Lewis? Buster, can I get you to come up to the front? Oh, God. The club spends a lot of, thank you. There's a little string there, and I cannot have that. The club spends a lot of money on our name tags, and I really hate it when people lose name tags. And,
I tell you, I found my name tag.
well, and you know what we do? We're going to have to start back at ground. You know what happens when you lose. I felt something in another pocket. Wait a minute.
I want the red one.
I have another one too.
Oh, thank you.
And by the way, that was paid for by one of your friends. It did not come out of club funds. One of your friends watching out for you.
Thank you.
Okay. And David, maybe we'll give David Lillard the red one since he's not here today. Shame on him. Yes, the conference is coming up. We'll start announcing that. That is the weekend of April 26th. I just want to put that out there, kind of an early warning on that, early heads up, and we'll start promoting that, I think, next week. Any other announcements for the good of the club?
I'm fishing for Matthew. He called me at a bright and early 5:55 this morning to say that he couldn't make it, so he just wanted me to remind everybody we're not going to be doing the trash pickup this Saturday, so if you do not show up at World of Beer, it don't open until noon anyway. So just want to make that announcement. I think he's going to send out an email too, so just we're trying again later.
Just a thank you. I think it's about time for Happy Dollars.
I think Happy Dollars. I totally agree with that.
You're ready for that.
And I'll tell you what, you know, we talk a lot about socks, but I mean, can I get a hand for this
Yes.
man right here? It's just springtime, baby.
One time every single year.
And then I started thinking of, you know, when I was growing up, lawyers dressed really different than they do now. It's really fun.
Yeah.
I got two, Buster. One is for Kelly Harrell. Kelly, I have heard nothing but the most fabulous things from my sister. Mostly because you overcooked her steak for her.
On purpose.
On purpose. No, my sister won't eat meat unless it's ruined. So, but anyway, the dinner was just spectacular. She's just gone on and on. So thank you for all your effort for that. And my other happy dollar was for Mike Conrad. I don't know if you guys know how close Mike was related to this $2.6 million. Mike Conrad is the one that went and touched everybody to make this happen. And it's just spectacular, Mike. We're so grateful for your service.
Well, that was the smallest bill I had today. So, on Monday, my son Tyler and his wife Jamie had their first baby named Elizabeth James, and everybody's healthy, and we're very happy about that. So, anyway, another one to the plan.
There we go.
That's worth 20.
Well, glad to be back. My 6-year-old had the flu all last week, so I'm happy that he is over that. Got a 6-year-old writhing in pain because he's got the flu. You'll have him when that's over with. So the week before that, my wife was overseas or on a cruise with my grandmother. So when they told me if I ever got divorced, they didn't want to get rid of me. They were serious. And then one extra dollar just for Buster. You know, Lewis has been gangbusters lately. And so, I don't know, about 6 months or a year ago, we kind of called the oh crap button and asked him to come back and help us out, and thankfully he did. So thank you for all the help you did. It was fun.
I promise I'll make this one really short. My sister is 11 years younger than me, and she was adopted, obviously, when I was 11. And she has always been curious about her birth parents. And a number of years ago, she attempted through the Children's Home Society to find her birth parents, and it was unsuccessful. And now, I mentioned technology last time, we've got Ancestry.com. So she subscribed to it, and her dad had also done so, and he lives in Hawaii, and they were connected last weekend, and it just was, it was phenomenal. I mean, the joy that it had to him, and so deserving of it, just absolutely. He never had any other kids, and so he has grandchildren and a daughter now. His wife is, it was just phenomenal. So. I just wanted to thank everybody in the club, the volunteers, the donations, and the club itself for the help with Enduring Gratitude last weekend. We had 180 veterans signed up. Most of those showed. If you didn't, it was cold out. I personally got assigned because I have a big Polaris that will haul 6 people. I got assigned to haul around some fellas that couldn't walk so much, and a couple of them were pretty old. One of them was a Korean War vet, and anyway, he could shoot lights out with a 28 gauge shotgun. For all of those that don't know, 28 gauge shells about the size of my little finger. Most 12 gauge shells are about that big. It shoots about 60% more pellets than a 28 gauge. And this guy was killing the clay pigeons, but he couldn't kill a pheasant until right at the end of the day, this one pheasant flew in the wrong place at the wrong time. Like 6 people expended 12 shells at this pheasant, and it kept coming, and LeRae says he took 2 steps, most steps I'd seen him take, except to get up to the porta potty by himself all day. He goes like this, I think I can get him. Boom! And he hit that pheasant with that thing, and the bird just exploded. I mean, the man walked over 100 yards to the next 2 stations. He would not get back in, and his friends told me later that they had not seen him walk that far in years. So, anyway, it was well worth the time.
I just want a Westminster report from our own.
Bob,
It's a scandal.
I was there. A wire fox terrier one. But there was an interesting twist. One of the 7 dogs was technically disqualified. And I don't know if you saw the video, the little black skipper key, they kind of excused it because actually the person that bred it breeds dogs with the judge's girlfriend. The judge is about 88 years old. Anyway, a little inside scoop.
And no steroids were involved.
Conflict of interest in the same household. Wow.
Yeah, tell us.
The girlfriend lives with him, and so does his wife. I've been to his house. It's a long story.
We identify as a champion. But maybe the dog might self-identify as a champion.
So, Grandpa was kind of in the doghouse. Grandma woke up one morning and she said, I had this dream that you gave me this beautiful pearl necklace. What do you think that means? Grandpappy said, well, you'll find out tonight. So sure enough, he comes home later that evening and has a full box, and he opens it up. It's a book on how to interpret dreams.
This morning we have a little 2-part program. First, Dennis is going to introduce us to Rich. We work with GTCC as far as the scholarship fund, and Dennis is going to explain a little bit more about that.
So Buster Lewis was able to help me do the interviews this year. This whole event for us, and I call it an event because going to the school, talking to the different students, them telling us their story, not only the academic story, some of their personal stories, and what they do in the community to help other people. It's inspiring, and I always get a kick out of going there, and Buster and I just think it's what we're doing for these students is just really, really great. Buster, is there anything you want to say? You usually have something to say.
No, but it's really it's really enjoyable.
It is.
We get more out of it than they do.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we're going to have Rich DePaul come up. Rich. And if the students will follow him. So let me just tell you a little bit about Rich, because we never really say anything about him because he's been here. Maybe he'll be a member one day, I don't know. But he has spent his entire lifetime in academia as a graduate student from UNC Chapel Hill, UNCG Greensboro, and is an instructor of economics. He's currently in his 10th year at GCC. He serves as the department chair for the accounting, business administration, human resource management, and supply chain management programs at GTCC. He manages a full-time faculty of 12 and a staff of 15 to 20 part-time instructors. And if there's anybody out there that thinks they would like to do that and bring your real-life experience to the classroom, please contact Rich. That's what he says here, by the way. That's right. And his only class he teaches is economics. We view this this knowledge and understanding as a critical part of good citizenship. Actively involved with improving the quality of our seated and online instruction, reforming our advising model to increase retention and completion, maintaining compliance with our accrediting body, and participating in an initiative to improve financial literacy among our students. That's, I guess, his job description.
That's this
Rich?
week. Good morning. I apologize for my voice. I was up until 2 a.m. grading last night. I promised my students I'd have their papers done, but that's self-inflicted damage because I do assign a lot of writing. But with the invocation this morning, it reminded me of why I do what I do every day, and it's every single day I get out of bed knowing that the service we do at GTCC makes an amazing difference in every single one of these students' lives. So it's not work, as you do every day, it's service. So it's my honor to introduce these students. So I'll start in the order they are lined up. So the first one is Jenna Walker. She is one of our accounting students, very close to graduation. She currently has a 3.95 GPA. I had Janet in class for economics, but I also found a way for her to get out of economics, so she's that much closer to graduation.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
I just want to thank everyone for first inviting us here for breakfast, and it's delicious. And the people of you that I've met are all fantastic. As Mr. Polk said, that I am near completion, Lord willing. At the end of this semester, I'll have one class left, and I want to let you know that this scholarship money means a lot to me because I am the primary breadwinner in my family. My husband is on disability. It's actually currently in the hospital getting dialysis, but that's another story. And this money will help with that. And then next semester, I probably won't qualify for an additional financial aid, only taking one class. So this will allow me to complete my education and not have to worry about that added burden. So I just want to thank you all again for choosing me as one of the recipients, and then again, inviting us here for breakfast.
Thank you. Next we have Adeyinka Adetunji. He is actually on a transfer pathway, also very close to graduation, currently carrying a 3.7 GPA.
Good morning to you all. My name is Adetunji Adeyinka. I'm from Nigeria. When they told me about this scholarship, I was like, I really want to do it because my instructor, Mr. Smalls, told us in class about the scholarship. I was like, there's a lot of people that are going to apply for this scholarship. So I just picked myself up and I encouraged myself to go for the scholarship. So when I got there, they interviewed me, and I have faith in God I was going to get the scholarship. So I really thank God, and I thank the association for giving me the scholarship, because I'm from Nigeria and I've been giving back to the community since I was back then. I work for the society, I donate blood, and I'm really grateful for this scholarship because it helped me buy the textbook and the materials I need in school. Thank you so much.
As you were speaking, it reminded me of one of my adjuncts said to me this semester. She's new in the classroom, and after the first week of class, she came in and said, just so amazing. She looks out at her classroom and it's like being at the UN. We have an extremely diverse population, very diverse group of students. All right, next we have that's E-H, Paw. She is also on the transfer pathway. I've had Ed in class for economics as well, and she is currently has a GPA of 3.5.
Good morning. Thank you for the Rotary Club for having me. My name is Ekupo, and I am from Thailand, but I live here in the United States now. The scholarship is mean a lot to me because it's going to help me with my school tuition, and my parents have been working hard. Only my mom is working and my sister. My dad is sick, but he's getting better. So I'm really glad for the scholarship to help me out with my school education and to help me complete my level education. And thank you for choosing me. Thank you.
And our final recipient is Mariah Jones. Mariah is actually in my class now, so we both have 9 o'clock. Mariah is also a transfer pathway business student, and she has a 4.0 GPA. Wow.
I'm not really a good public speaker, but I am originally from Trinidad and Tobago. It's a small island in the Caribbean. You could barely see it on the map. I am 19 years old, and when I transfer from GTCC, I want to pursue business administration with a concentration in finance, because I love money. But no, more importantly, because I want to be a part of the business world, which has been apparent since I was a child. I used to have like fake boardroom meetings with my stuffed animals. And it wasn't until I was 10 that I actually realized that, hey, I want to do something in this field. But I also realized that, it's my obligation, that's what I believe, to help other people and to put myself in a position where I can do that. And that is kind of what this scholarship means to me, because it's going to help me get my education and help me give back to my community as a whole and really help me push forward and get my dreams and aspirations and my goals. And I want to personally say thank you all.
Well, this is what I get to do every day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rich, and thank you for what you do for us.
Thank you.
And for the community at large. It really is a fantastic thing that is done here in Greensboro. I'm really proud of GTC and everything they do for us. Next part, one of our favorite things, Judy Brumley is going to do our get to know me kind of talk. She's not a new member, but we certainly welcome the opportunity to learn more about Judy and Pip.
Y'all bear with me, I'm a little bit nervous here, but y'all all friends, so I'm not going to wait too much on it. First of all, happy Valentine's Day. And candy on your...
Thank you, Judy. Thank you, Judy. Thank you.
My story's kind of three-part. I'm going to start off with explaining a little bit about where I'm from, and then some of y'all may know, some may not, but I'm one of 9 children, and I'm one of 9 children, and I'm number 7 of 9, and so thank you. And all kinds of pop-ups too, so if y'all read some pop-ups, just kind of ignore it. But born in Catonsville, Maryland, and you're going to see the first of these slides showing, the first one's my favorite in the whole world, is my mom held me as a baby. And here I am, the first of number 7, but then also you can see the other children and cousins in this picture too. And despite all that, my mom's still smiling. Her toenails are still painted. She probably has on her pearls. And it's just the way it was way back then when we had a lot of children with a big Catholic family. And Danny probably understands what I'm saying. Okay, let's see if we can get this thing rolling. Sorry, guys. that's me on my mom's shoulder.
How old was the oldest at this point?
Reedy was the oldest, and I would say, why'd you ask me that?
Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. Seriously, we were stair-step children, and the joke is that Mom was probably pregnant with Johnny there. So who knows if she was or not? And here we go. Don't want to see it, Mom. There's Sadie. What's going on here? Okay, so here we go. So this next picture right here, you're going to see where, again, I was still the baby, and we were a little bit older. And it fascinates me that my mom still had us all dressed up in the best clothes, and our shoes were polished, and I don't know, and how they even got us all to sit still is beyond me. And then the next picture is, we were a little bit older, and there were 8 of us in this picture, and then there's Ginger, the baby. So that's number 9. Since Ginger wasn't born at that time, we went on and I just kind of framed it up like that. So my dad was a chemist, and he worked for DCA in Maryland, and they transferred him down to Atlanta, Georgia, where we lived for 4 years. And DCA is Donut Corporations of America. And when I was in 2nd or 3rd grade, we moved to Greensboro, to Sunset Hills. And Mother Murphy's, y'all know Mother Murphy's, Pete and Kermit Murphy hired my dad. And so with my dad being a chemist, he would sell the flavorings for like the vanilla flavorings, the butterscotch. And he was the one that actually invented the flavoring for the Twinkies. So he would bring him all these different pastries, and he'd line them up in the kitchen, and we'd all have to do taste tests. Why do you like this one the best? And we say, the lemon. No, there's no lemon in that. So we would just make up stuff that we liked about it, just to be able to eat these pastries that he was trying to sell the flavoring on. So that was interesting. So majority of my life, I did live in Greensboro, and Sunset Hills, and on Greenway. And that's our home. So we went to Our Lady of Grace for elementary school, and then Kaiser, and then Grimsley. And I actually had Chip Person's mom as my guidance counselor in Kaiser. So
That's not it.
You'd be surprised how many people my mother saved.
Brothers, between the nuns and Mrs. Person, that's how it worked out. So here's a fun picture of, here's my mom when she was still living on the right-hand side, and that was before Ginger's wedding. And my mom passed away at the age of 57 with lung cancer. And on the right is a picture of my dad that we took at my house when we were in Burlington. And 6 days later, he passed away. So I was so happy that all the brothers and sisters got to be together, and we got to have that time together. Of all 9 of us, we're all still extremely close, which is very odd. And my mom always said, whoever you're marrying, she would bring that person in. She told this to Jimmy, you're not marrying my daughter, you're marrying our family. And so I think that's a great trait. And I've told that to my children too. And anyway, I just think it's a great thing to know that not only are you part of this family, but you're part of this family. And we speak all the time. And all the in-laws are called outlaws because they're never in pictures. It's always all the brothers and sisters, and then the outlaws sit back and the are left out of the pictures again. So anyway, so Jimmy and I dated in high school at Grimsley, and he's 2 years older than I. He played basketball, and I was a swimmer, and we were coached by Coach Jamison. So he kind of coached, if y'all ever knew Coach Bob Jamison, he looked over me as a father figure and also the ball players. And he knew everything we were doing, so he kind of kept us.
Does Jimmy know you were kissing that guy?
And so we dated.
It's like a wedding picture, it's okay.
Yeah. We dated in high school, and then he went to college, and I went to college, and we dated other people. And after college, we reconnected and got married. So we got married in May of '82, And the following, Jimmy was not happy at all with what he was doing. He wanted his own business. So he went to the PIP in Greensboro to get his resume printed. And with that, he saw a brochure on the counter. And he came home. We weren't married 4 months. He said, I want to own my own business. I'm going to look into this franchise. Y'all, we had no money. We had nothing. And I was like, well, okay. So first time ever on a plane in my life, we flew to Washington, D.C. to be interviewed to be franchisees. And they accepted our application. We wanted to be in Boone or Hickory, and both of those places didn't qualify for the standards for corporate, and so we suggested Burlington, and they said that was fine. So we opened, and today's our anniversary for PIP, 36 years ago today. You'll see on the right-hand side, that's our first PIP store, and I would stand and talk to the clients or the customers at the front counter where Jimmy ran the press in the back, and it started out as the first while you wait instant printer, PIP was, and so we were 787, that was our number. Today we have this plant in Burlington, and it used to be the old Coca-Cola bottling plant, and that's our production facility. So not only do we print there, we also have marketing services, and then we also do signage, and I'll explain all that in a minute or two. So anyway, so we, from our little Jimmy and I operation to over in Alamance County, and that building's 37,000 square feet. So we're excited about that. And we've been there for about 11 years now. So it's a nice building. Some of y'all have been in it. Bobby's been in it. Christy has. Ralph's been in it. And you're always welcome to come visit us. So in April, it's going to be 6 years we bought the PIP in Greensboro. And we just kind of find it ironic that we've come full circle. So we closed down the operation, the full operation that we had in Greensboro, because they had the presses and the production manager and the graphic designers, and we consolidated and took all production over to Alamance County. And we opened a small sales and marketing office right here off Pembroke. And I love that office. There are 5 of us in there, and it's quiet, and we can get our work done. But we shuttle jobs back and forth with our delivery vans to Burlington, back and forth. And since we have started, I'm proud to say that Greensboro is now matching sales that Burlington was doing. So we pretty much doubled our volume by purchasing Greensboro. We really brought it back up to speed. This picture right here is a wallpaper. And what it was a picture that we had done for Convention and Visitors Bureau for one of their manuals. And I asked for the file, and we enlarged it, and we have the skyscape of downtown Greensboro, and we printed that off our signage equipment and made wallpaper, so that's pretty cool. It's kind of a cool look. Okay, so again, this is fun. We are the only franchisees in the system that have ever gotten the Franchisee of the Year award, and that's with, it comes from corporate, and every year we go to convention. And it's for service back to the community. It's for empowering employees. It's a lot of different things involved with it. And we were shocked, number one, to get it the first time, but then also to receive it the second time. And in all the other franchises, there's never been anyone else that's gotten it twice. So that's pretty cool. And we're also part of we have consecutively been in the top 100 quick printers in the nation. So we throw our numbers in every year, and we get that pretty much every year. That's Jimmy's favorite award we get. So I talked about my personal side, who we are, who I am. Now I'm going into the business a little bit. This is just some quick photos. I don't know if y'all can see it or not, but this is our digital equipment, and Bobby knows about this. Because he has, where is Bobby? There he is. Yeah. We're Conoco. We have a lot of Conoco equipment. So we do have a digital presses. We have about 5 or 6 of them. And then there's Kelvin. Kelvin's been with us over 30 years. And we have a couple that have been, Debbie just has been with us 26 years this week. And we have 3 employees I call my snowbirds. They left and they came back. So I'm excited about that. But Kelvin said, "What are you doing, Judy?" And I said, "Well, I'm taking pictures of our store." He goes, "You want me to stand behind the press?" I said, "Sure, let's do that, Kelvin." So anyway, so he's our press operator, and he's just a great guy. He had ink all down his arms, on his face. I said, "Kelvin, you might need to clean up before you go to lunch today," but whatever. So this is our line read equipment where we can print, where we can fold, collate, staple, put things together. And people say it's a paperless society. I think you can see by these boxes right here. This is one account, and we have a contract with them for over 1 million clicks a year. And so what we do is we always stay ahead of them. It's a manufacturing facility, and they may say, "I need form A, B, C, D, and I need 20,000. So we stay ahead of them. We can always pop it on the truck and deliver it out to them directly. So I don't think we'll ever be paperless. Have we seen a lot go digital? We have. But also digital has created more paper too, because people just print it off in their offices. Okay, so this is our marketing division where we can do add specialty products, and we do a lot of that. We also do social media accounts for a lot of our, or for several of our clients, where we can do your Facebook, we can do your postings on anything. What we'll do is we'll sit down and visit with you and find out exactly who your client is, who we need to reach out to, so we handle that for clients also, because a lot of people don't have the time and energy, plus they don't know how to post things on Instagram, on Pinterest, on Facebook, and so we do that for them and give them a professional look. Okay. And we also build websites. We built the website for Nisa Sausage, so you can go online anytime you want and order your sausage and they'll ship it to you. This last part is our signage division, and we do not only your pop-up banners, that type of thing, we also do a lot of hard, heavy, coarse signage materials too. And this is the fastest area of our business that's growing. This right here is Dynoc, where we actually go in. We went into Annie Penn and we rewrapped their entire front counter because it was old. It was probably 20 years old, and there was nothing wrong with the counter. It just looked old. And so we went in and wrapped it with a Dynoc 3M material, and it looks fresh, brand new. And these are our delivery vans, and then also our install van for signage. Okay, this last part I'm going to go into is, this is my why. This is really what's dear to my heart. This is what part of what gets me up in the morning. But it's my husband, our children, Megan and David. David is Megan and Jimbo, and David is my son-in-law, and Kelsey is Jimbo's girlfriend. And they live in Raleigh, Megan and David, and they both work for the state of North Carolina. They do not want the business. They grew up in the business, and they said, "Y'all did that on your own. We want to achieve everything on our own." So that's pretty cool. But anyway, so we like to play. We play a lot together. You'll see we were at App State football game here. Garth Brooks, we've been to several Garth Brooks concerts. This is just Jimbo and Kelsey and Megan and David and Jimbo and Kelsey. Actually, Tuesday of next week, Jimbo, Kelsey, Jimmy, and I are going to be in the Bahamas together. And then we're going to send Megan and David to Nashville. And that was part of their Christmas gift. And then this is the last part. This is Sadie. And I'll probably get emotional, but anyway. Here's Jimbo, Jimmy and Sadie, and that was a couple weeks ago. And Sadie, Megan, and I, Mother's Day. And this is Sadie standing at my kitchen door. And you can see Molly, who's our dog, saying, "Let me in," and Olive. But Sadie's just sitting there talking to him. So that's pretty much it. This is me, and this is us. And I feel like I'm on a TV show.